Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 48 of the Local to Global here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, I do apologise if you can hear a little bit of maybe staticky noise in the background when I'm speaking. It is currently raining pretty heavily outside, but I wanted to get this recorded. I want to play, and I'm enjoying myself. I really am. I know recently there's been some sort of setbacks with the way I think we're booking and the way matches are going to go. Basically, after this episode, going into the new year, I think we're going to completely overhaul storylines. And what I'm going to do is, this is a good example of a storyline. It's a good example, but it's also a bad example because we haven't really done anything with this storyline in itself for quite some time. As you can see, it started in June. And, I mean, we probably haven't done anything with it for about 2 months, at least. But it has 2 people in it. And when it's a one-on-one storyline, it only needs 2 people. This one, the Unified World Title storyline, could be getting a lot better ratings when it's used. But we have, 5 different people in here. Now, obviously, it would make sense for Davis to have Zeus in the storyline with him. That just makes sense. They're a tag team. They're allies. And of course, Zeus is very, very much used in conjunction with a Davis type storyline. Now, I like to do the Zeus versus, his rival in the storyline. I like to do that match as like a main event for TV. I think we did it last episode, if I remember correctly, for one of the shows. I think it was this one. Was it not? Doc. I guess we did do it here, kind of. That was a tag team match. That was a little bit weird. But what I'm trying to say is, having his rivals go against someone like Zeus in the storyline makes sense. But what I don't want to be doing anymore is having unnecessary people in the storyline and also having these stable storylines. They're obviously good for advancing, or having 2 storylines with the Heat. And of course, the thing is, this is what I didn't really pay attention to. I know I'm doing a lot of talking right now and we'll get into the next show, but you're only expected to advance at least 1 storyline per show. Literally only 1. That's all I need to do with either an angle or a match. And I'm pretty sure you can even use the pre-show in order to do that as well, which is... That seems a little bit ridiculous, but yeah. So similar sort of storylines to this, but again, we want to try and get rid of people like Osono and Jack Pride. They're not necessary in the actual storyline because they're not actually playing a big part in the storyline. Of course, Osono had recent matches with Cooper and Jack Pride obviously in there as well, but it's not necessary. Those types of matches don't need to have a storyline with them because they're sort of just the impromptu like filler matches that you need to have with a weekly TV show. Anyway, that's what we're going to fix next episode. Not going to worry about it too much here, but what I think I will do actually is we're going to take a few people out of this one. So I guess what I want to do is maybe take Diaz out of here. We'll take Davis out of there as well. Goldstein can come out because he hasn't really done anything. And Zeus can come out as well. All we'll do, literally all we're doing is adding 1 person into this storyline. And that is going to be Aldous Blackfriar. So he can come out of there as well and go straight into here. Because obviously we want to try and forego the 2 storyline penalties that we've literally been getting with, the lack of heat in the storyline for like the last 3 months on all of our big pay-per-views. So I want to try and get rid of that. So just have those 2. We're just going to, on this go-home show, we're just going to focus on, I would say, angles, maybe backstage run-ins that are specific to these guys. Because that's what we want to do. We want to try and boost this heat up a little bit more prior to the pay-per-view. Now, the next thing I want to do, I guess, is we can actually make this one. So this will be a storyline for this episode, obviously, but also for next episode as well. And it's going to be, let's call it the GOATs. I don't know. I wanted to say something like a redemption. Let's go with it. Let's go with the redemption. GOATs redemption. Then we're gonna have Davis. I guess for now we'll have Logan in it as well. And Zeus can go in there as well. So I guess on this show I might actually just have Logan versus Zeus as the main event. I feel like that might be a pretty good way to actually go about it. We don't need Diaz in there because Diaz isn't really gonna have a part in the actual storyline. He's obviously a part of it, but he's not a main player, you know what I mean? So we'll do that. I mean, the tag division, probably one of the reasons why the tag division is doing relatively well, because actually, never mind. I take that back. I mean, Papa Swole, Public Enemy, they've been, I guess, dragging some sort of ratings down. Anyway, alright, that all looks pretty good, but hopefully you understand. We'll work through it all completely in the next episode. Anyway, one thing I wanted to also talk about, we did go up to 62 popularity in Quebec there as well. And finally, the last thing I wanted to look at is just the US popularity as well. Of course, these regions are stuck now. As you can see, Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, Midwest. Where else? I think that might be it. But I thought it was 4 regions that were stuck, but it doesn't really look like. I mean, 53. We're still 53 in the tri-state. I guess we'll have to get a bit more of a gauge with that next month, maybe. Because like there are a few improvements from last month going into this month, even if they are, you know, only 1 point, apart from these 3 regions here. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's advance, and I'll try and do some more talking here, as I'm sure you're all probably really looking forward to it. One thing I will do at the end of the episode is we'll go over the merchandise sales for this particular month, because obviously it's December. I want to kind of have a little bit of a look, maybe in a little bit more detail than, you know, I usually just click the screen, see what's happening, see who the number 1 is, and that's generally it. So, you know, what I want to do is take a bit more look of the top 10 in detail, see who's actually sort of moving up, if you will, and see if it's correlating to the guys that I actually want to push up the card as well. Because I feel like that's obviously a natural thing that's going to happen. I push them harder, they're going to be selling more merch. Makes sense. The next thing is creative meeting. We'll go over a full creative meeting at the end of the episode, or towards the end of the episode as well, because we haven't really done that for about a month or so. I just want to check where Logan kind of sits in the grand scheme of things now, if he's in, you know, the top 5 franchise players. Just, I want to sort of suss that out a little bit and make sure that everything at least looks like how I would think it would probably look, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I think we've got our main event. I think Logan versus Zeus should be a pretty good match. And again, that's going to advance the storyline we just created for Davis's redemption arc, if you will. It's going to probably run for a few months. Not with Logan. Logan will be taken out of it. But that's purely just for, I guess, this month or the end of this month, because we're into the last week. Of course, the episode is titled The Last Shows of 2023. But yeah, so Logan will move on, because I think he's got to have at least one big feud before we move him into the, you know, number 1 contender sort of territory. And then, of course, we've got our main event for Final Chapter as well, which is the winner of One Ring to Rule Them All, Aldous Blackfriar. And, of course, he's taken on Mobstar for the Unified World title. Now, we did set up this deal in the last episode to get Masked Patriot. And, of course, I think it was 2 episodes ago, I was very hesitant about bringing him in because we've got a big roster and we've been adding to it pretty consistently over the last like 5 months or so. But the big reason, obviously, he's really good. We know that he's kind of the peak age, if you will, on the verge of potentially starting to decline. But the guy does have 97 stamina, so if it starts falling, it does have a pretty long way to fall as well. But basically, he passes on knowledge. Now, of course, that means he can make proteges, or he'll be a mentor to proteges more likely. And as you can see, the 88 psychology looks pretty good if you want to have him be a mentor to some of the younger members on our roster. As you can see, still actually improving as well, which is pretty funny. And of course, he's got really good basics as well. So we'll bring him in. Not that expensive. We got 4 years, 24,500. And of course, there was some competition as well for his signature. So yeah, we were also looking at bringing in Primus Allen. But as you can see, I kind of expected him to re-sign. We didn't want to go crazy. We didn't want to go crazy. Interesting that New York City actually came in with an offer as well. Yeah, pretty funny. They've actually gone in for Petr Novak. I mean, Petr, he would be a pretty decent, sort of older option, if you will. We've also got Nick Booth here, 29. I mean, he's okay, but again, he's also a troublemaker and has a temper, so we probably don't want him to come in. We've got Faith here. I think she's a manager. Yeah. I mean, Faith no more. Should be a pretty interesting, stable manager for those guys. But everything here looks... I mean, there's nothing really too noticeable there. I think Faith actually had re-signed anyway. So that's fine. Not a lot going on. Primus Allen, I mean, he would have been a good signing, but again, we've just got way too many guys. Hopefully, this is psychology. Okay, that's not too bad. It's actually selling. Chip Martin, man. He seems to be getting a lot of these, mentor pass downs, whether it be psychology and now selling as well. He is a jobber, but I feel like maybe we should probably do something. Just something with him. I might even use him on this TV show. Anyway, we got to go to Ottawa, which of course is the capital of Canada. Yeah, I'm 100% sure because I checked that literally a few episodes ago. Anyway, main event, like I said, Logan Wolfsbane. And he'll be taking on Zeus. Should be a good match. I mean, Logan's, what, 78 popularity, and then Zeus is 69. So, in theory, I mean, do I only go 16 minutes with it? That's an interesting question. Zeus might get, he'll get penalized. He'll definitely get penalized, actually. He's down to 54 stamina, which is very low. Really dropping. Which, between him and Angry Gilmore, that kind of does really suck. I don't know why I scripted that. That's weird. But it can be a slow build. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it says he doesn't have the stamina for it. I'm going to do it anyway, because I want it to be 16 minutes. I think, if we look at our product really quick. So yeah, as you can see, matches less than 15 minutes will not be able to achieve a world-class score. So essentially, we need matches to at least be 15 minutes. But if we do 16, we can then do a slow build, which actually, I think, has like a positive effect on stamina as well. So if we were to do 15 with no slow build, which you can't actually do, I believe, for 15-minute matches or anything lower than 16, you would get I guess a bigger penalty. Anyway, what I also want to do is have Mutant. I did have a comment from Question the Mark, and he was kind of alluding to the fact that I had Mutant lose against Mobstar, which makes sense because we haven't actually built Mutant up yet. It's kind of just debuted. I think he won I think he won like one pretty high class match with Aldous. But we need him to be that big. He's literally a muscular big heavyweight. So I think let's put him in a match against Chip Martin. Like I said, I just mentioned the guy. Get him on the card. Won't be a squash, but we'll have Mutant win. He's going to pretty much be winning all these, matches against mid carders and lowers. So yeah. Do we need a script? Yes, we do. Okay. So we'll make it decisive in there as well, just so it's, a clean victory, nice and easy. We've also got our new announcer as well, so that's pretty cool. Vanderbroek. Broek. I don't know. No idea how you pronounce it correctly. Doesn't matter. Not really too sure what else I want to do on this show. I mean, we could maybe have Diaz take on Davis. But then that'll probably... I feel like that would almost overshadow... Excuse me, the main event. Yeah, that's a tough one. Maybe we don't do that. Let's have Davis in a match. But I kind of want it against maybe a mid-carder. Someone that's not exactly great, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe Charlie Corner. Yeah, let's go Charlie. Because actually, Charlie might actually benefit from this match. I feel like, he does have potential. He's up to 43 popularity, which I didn't really realize, but he must be, getting some decent popularity gains from Maddie Faith's angles. You know what I mean? Because he is quite often just a part of the angle. Okay, so let's go. I want to go a 6-man tag now as well. This one, it'll be interesting. We're going to throw a few people together, but obviously one side is going to be Faith No More, which is Rock City Stars and Maddie Faith, and they'll take on the team of Hocking. Maybe we give Patriot his debut. Yeah, we'll give Patriot his debut. He can be in this match as well. And then we also need a final member. Just trying to think, who should it be? Maybe Doc Hammond, because we don't really have anything for him to do, really. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So we'll give Doc the loss in the match. Kind of sucks for Patriot, but again, like I said, Patriot, he's just going to be a mid-carder. There's nothing too crazy or too serious. It's going to be sort of coming from him, so not going to worry about it. It's going to be a tainted win anyway, obviously. Faith No More cheating to win seems to be the only thing they can really do with Matt Hocking, whether it be interference or all those cheating victories. All right, what else? What other storylines have we got? We've got Young and Wasted taking on the Moneymakers, so I think what I want to do is maybe have... Yeah, we'll go Taylor taking on Stephen Parker. We done this match recently? Okay, they've never done it. Never been in singles competition. That's perfect. So let's have Taylor get the victory. Just to make them look a little bit stronger going into the tag team title match. Apparently Steven's very unhappy with it, but don't know why that is. We'll keep him strong. And hopefully he won't complain. There we go. Alright, I still feel like we could actually go maybe one more. But let me do the angles first. Let me do the angles. So, what I want to do is have Davis come out and he's going to cut a promo post-match. And again, the whole thing with success, I have been giving everybody success in the angle. But I think from now on, only going to give success to people that are actually rated on entertainment. Because if people aren't speaking, realistically, there would be no way that they would be sort of benefiting from an angle. So I think that's the way we're going to go with things from now on. Just to keep it or make it a bit more realistic. All right, so let's do that one. I think I want to go maybe just a Logan promo himself prior to the match. That's fine, just to try and get him a little bit more over if we can. Mutant himself. Actually, I think Mutant can actually speak pretty well. I know, obviously, he's got the menace. Yeah, but as you can see, he's actually probably better at speaking than he is at menace angles. So go Mutant. Now I've got a good way for us to start off the show, because obviously you'll be seeing that there's not exactly any involvement with our world title storyline, and that is because we're going to kick the show off with Mobster and Aldous Blackfriar fighting each other in a backstage brawl. Now, this is another thing I want to start to do more, or a bit more often. But yeah, just having like more interview angles and more sort of brawls, or post-match attacks and stuff like that. So Mobster and Aldous Blackfriar brawl backstage, and both are ejected from the building. Maybe with, let's say, $5,000 fines. 5K fines. I like that. And again, it's simple. It'll give them both success, because they're both, ooh, a bit of thunder there. They're both essentially, pushing forward with their storyline. So that'll kick us off. Then we'll have, well, I would want to do maybe another Davis angle there. But I guess what we can do, maybe let's go Angry Gilmore. And we'll have Graham Gorman, we'll have him cut a promo onto Graham Gorman off screen. So Graham's not going to actually be there, but just a way for this storyline in particular to continue. We'll do one final match, and then we'll cull it. But it's just a nice way, of course. Neither of them are on the show. We have a little bit of time there that we're not really using, because obviously Davis has his angle much later on in the show. And then finally, just to finish things off, we'll go a Faith No More angle. So Faith, and then we'll go Rock and Ryan Turner. It's just all three. Again, we'll just try and get them over a little bit more as well. So all three on entertainment. I guess, seeing as they're all speaking, we'll give them all some success there as well. I will script them though. It's a good idea to script them. And again, can advance their storyline. But like I said, from now on, I think we're gonna get rid of the stable storylines. That 8 minutes. There we go. That looks pretty good. I mean, we still actually have another 8 minutes, so we could essentially throw in one more angle if we really wanted to. And we might just do that. So let me go John Greed. And he can cut a promo. Actually, let's have John Greed be in an interview. So what I'll do here is we're going to take Jurian off, because he has incredible microphone ability. So we'll get him on entertainment, and then we'll get John Greed in there on entertainment as well, just to give him a bit of success. We'll have Giant Brody obviously off screen, but obviously he'll be the main focus of the interview itself. I really like this. I think it's a good way of actually doing some promo, well, some angles, I guess, instead of the usual typical promo about so-and-so. Just think it'll be just that little bit more beneficial to the overall storytelling of the show. I do know that we need... Oh. Yeah, we can't really do that, actually. Well, in that case, I'm going to have to get rid of Mutant's angle, because that is literally one of those angles that we just don't really need, to be honest. So we'll do that. We need a storytelling. I guess this can be our storytelling. Actually, no. We'll go with Mutant. Mutant and Chip. That'll be storytelling. Obviously, the monster destroying the jobber will be the story to that match, but I think that looks like a really good show. I feel like it's much better booked in terms of storytelling. And hopefully now that I'm, getting my storylines together, well, we will be properly next episode, but we've already kind of done it a little bit. Hopefully things will be a little bit more, they'll look a little bit better going forward. What I might do actually is increase some of these match times. I might make this an all-out match as well. Although that might be a bit... Yeah, I mean, let's go for it. Let's go all out on that one. Even Parker doesn't have the stamina to go for that long. Where did he... Oh my goodness. Where did his stamina go? He's obviously in time decline, but... No. Okay, he literally just can't do an all-out match, I guess. Make it 15 minutes. There we go. I mean, that's the best I can do. Anyway, pre-show. Let's go Angry Gilmore teaming up with maybe Diaz. Diaz is a good idea. And then we'll go them against, I guess, maybe Jack and Zach. I know I almost messed that up then. Almost. Yeah, 12 minutes on the pre-show. Actually, we'll keep it. Try 12. Try 12. Gilmore can get the win because he will actually have a proper pay-per-view match. And of course, we do need to script it. And what else? Let's go a Giant Brody match in there. He can get a victory over somebody. Let's go Americana. Just a pre-show match. Try and get Brody's momentum back up a little bit. Because he will be facing John Greed. Alright. That'll do us, I think. Is there anyone I'm really forgetting? I mean, Goldstein's not really used. Princeton's not used either. Alright, let's do one more pre-show match. Let's have Princeton and Goldstein teaming up. Just to... I guess they can take on the Crew. Because I think the Crew do need some help as well. Should be a really good match, to be fair. And I'll give the Princeton the victory as well. Just so he can get a bit of momentum back. Because he did lose against... Well, he lost against Aldous at the pay-per-view in the tournament. That is Stones. Okay. I think that should probably be the main event, if you will. Anyway, let's run the show. Go home show, kicking it off with a 59 rated pre-show match where we have Giant Brody defeating Americana in 11:42 by pinfall with a single-handed chokeslam. Pretty solid 64 in-ring performance there. And the announcing quality lifted the match. So hopefully with our Jurian in the commentary booth, we'll have some, hopefully just less penalties would be nice, I feel like. Obviously, he's quite a bit better with his 80 announcing compared to Lee Bambino. Alright, we then go into a 68 rated tag team match in the pre-show here. Angry Gilmore and James Diaz defeating Jack Jackson and Zach Powerson in 11:43. And Angry Gilmore pinned Zach with an anger management. Obviously, Zach the weak link, but he pulled a 40 again. And of course, I think the last show of last episode, he got under a 40. So as long as he stays above that 40, I'll be happy. And then finally, I knew this was going to be a good match. We get a 74 rated pre-show match to round us off with Ozzy Goldstein and Princeton Price defeating the Crew in 12:18 when Princeton Price submitted Public Enemy. Good match. Real good match. Obviously, Goldstein head and shoulders with an 85. And then we had a solid 70 as well. from Princeton. Yeah, good stuff. Probably should have been on the main show. That's a really solid match. All right, we then start things off with an 85 rated fighting angle. We have Mobstar and Aldous Blackfriar brawling backstage, and both are ejected from the building. And of course, both will no longer have matches on tonight's show. And they also get 5k fines as a result. I guess the announcers kind of put over the fact that that they're getting fined for $5,000. Pretty cool. I like it. And again, it just adds a bit more to the overall storytelling aspect of TEW. All right, we then go into a relatively bad match. I guess having it go 15 minutes is probably too long for what it needed to be. Because we only get a 56. And definitely should have been better. Should have been mid-60s in my opinion. But we've got Taylor Norton. I know we were keeping Stephen Parker strong as well. But yeah, we do have Taylor Norton defeating Stephen Parker in 15-17 by pinfall with a tumbleweed splash. We've got Taylor with a 66 and Stevie P with only a 60. I'll take a quick look at the dirt sheet. Obviously, lack of an associated storyline. We already know that. That's perfectly fine. Which, theoretically, with my new storyline, settings that I'm going to implement with myself, they would be in a storyline together. So this match would actually have a storyline. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But he's also got declining physical ability. He's got stamina in there as well, which I didn't think was going to be a problem because we increased the match time, but we got rid of the all-out note. And then they both got dinged as well for inconsistency. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, we move on. Okay, solid angle there. 87 from Angry Gilmore. And of course, basically he says that, him and Graham Gorman, they're going to do it one last time. And then they're both going to go their separate ways. Whoever wins, will obviously have more of a, I guess, a shout towards becoming the #1 contender. They're both very, very highly respected throughout the top talent in the company. All right, we then go into an 82, yes, 82 rated match, which has literally been better than most of our main event matches on our TV shows recently. We have Davis Wayne Newton defeating Charlie Corner in 12:05 by pinfall with a fisherman's suplex. And we get an 87 in-ring there for Davis. And a pretty solid 47 as well from Charlie. So he's not doing too bad. He's not doing too bad. As you can see, there was literally one penalty in the entire match, and that was literally just inexperience from Charlie Corner. Wow. Okay, we move on to an 81 rated angle from Faith No More. So that's pretty impressive considering both Ryan Turner and Stan Manor. They're not the most over compared to Faith, and I think Faith probably has better entertainment skills than both of them, so yeah, I mean, as you can see, he looked good, and Charlie actually helped him as well. Which we got that weird penalty for Charlie being his manager in that last episode. Which I thought was very strange. Anyway, the 6-man tag does really well. You get an 80 rated match. This is what I'm talking about. We get an 80 rated match for this. You look at the in-ring performances, it doesn't look like it should be getting an 80. It looks like it should be getting like maybe a 70. I would say 70 is probably acceptable. But we get an 80. Anyway, we got Faith No More defeating Matt Hocking, Masked Patriot, and Doc Hammond in 12:09 when Matty Faith pinned Doc Hammond, illegally using the ropes for leverage. We also got Masked Patriot there, debuting his Ultimate Patriot gimmick, getting an initial rating of adequate. And as you can see, his storyline advanced, gained some heat there as well. And we got Matty Faith with a 77 in-ring performance as well. So very, very decent. Really, another penalty like that. A large penalty to psychology. We got another one of those last episode for Logan Wolfsbane as well. Which is just that's so frustrating. These guys that have incredible psychology are now getting penalized because of their gimmicks. I don't understand. I'm not sure if I really like the pros and cons with gimmicks. Like, I don't really see how a gimmick can have a penalty to psychology during a match. It just does not make any sense at all. Let me know what you guys think about that, because I think that it's pretty ridiculous, and I don't really like that feature. Of course, we didn't really have anything like that on 2016, so this seems so unnecessary and so pointless. It's like just another gamey type of thing that they've thrown in there to make things harder for you, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Anyway, we go into it's a bit of an average angle, but at the same time, I mean, Jurian van der Broek, he doesn't have any popularity in Canada, so we need to try and get him over. And because Brody was actually in the angle, even though he's off screen, it still actually advanced the storyline, and as you can see, we lost heat in the storyline as a result. But we get a 60. It's not terrible. We have a sit-down interview with Jurian. Of course, he's our new sort of, I guess, Tony Schiavone, Michael Cole, JR, if you will, that's going to sit down, have a proper interview. And this time he interviews John Greed about Giant Brody, and of course their match at Final Chapter. I mean, Greed came across pretty well, but as you can see, Jurian, he really underperformed. But again, not due to his stats, more due to his popularity. All right, we then go into a 53 rated match. Again, this is just a match to get some fire under the belly of Mutant. And we have Mutant defeating Chip Martin in 9:57 by pinfall with the Tina Turner. Good match. For what it is. Again, Mutant, he doesn't have the best popularity in the world. And of course, Chip is just a jobber. So there we go. Alright, we then go into a 78 rated angle from Logan Wolfsbane, improvising well throughout this segment, so that's positive. But basically he says that he's going to come in and basically he rates Davis as kind of the top guy, more or less the ace of the company, if you will. He's been around for a long time, multiple time world champion, with many defenses in there as well. Of course, the first ever, unified world champion as well, with him capturing both belts. Logan says that he came in, because he feels like the coalition, we said this last episode, but that the coalition is now on, level pegging with all the other North American companies that are big. And, basically, he wants to try and beat the top dog, the Roman Reigns of CWC. Okay. Pretty terrible. The main event gets a 73 rating, where we have Logan Wolfsbane defeating Zeus Maximilian in 16:22 by pinfall with a belly-to-belly suplex. You know what? I feel like a 73 is actually, that's a pretty fair result for this match. Logan got an 81. Zeus only got a 65. He was also visibly tiring, which we actually knew. We knew that. So it's literally my fault. Okay, I'll take it. We've got to have a look at the dirt sheet, though. I gotta see where we went wrong. I mean, this... Don't they have a storyline? Hold on. Wait, what? I guess the storyline started. Alright. Never mind. Maybe I should have put Zeus in the prior angle. That would have been maybe smarter. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's have a look at the other ones. So both for inconsistency as well, which is... I don't see... How could Zeus be inconsistent? I mean, I can see how he would. Everybody has an off night, but these two are like top Seaverse wrestlers, or at least Zeus used to be. but he still has the stats, you know, high 70s, 80s, if you will, to pull off a good match. And again, stamina, physical ability, we already know about that. But 73, it's a real letdown. We're pretty lucky that we've got some decent angles on this show. And like I said, I mean, Charlie Corner and Davis got an 82. Should have made that the main event. And I was actually going to go with James Diaz and Davis as the main event. Would have been a better option. Much better option indeed. But luckily we do finish off the show with an 87 rated angle, where we have Davis coming out to confront Logan about their match. Of course, Logan was talking about how he's the top dog and he's going to beat him at Final Chapter to really, you know, put the nail in the coffin of Davis's sort of capitulation of his career. You know, he was at the very top, lost 2 consecutive matches to Mobstar, and this doesn't look very good for him at the moment. And of course, the redemption arc storyline that he's in now has been started. But yeah, Davis actually struggled going off script, but still managed to get an 87. So if we scripted this one, it probably would have been 95. Who knows? Maybe 100. You never know. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. Gaining heat for the storyline, which is a good thing because it obviously didn't exactly start very strong. Yeah, I mean, everything actually looks pretty good. You know, good announcing, even good color commentary, which you probably wouldn't expect, but there we go. Anyway, that was the Go Home show. Overall show rating of 79, so I mean, it's okay. It's okay. But this is the interesting part. So we only gained popularity in 49 regions. However, recently we've been gaining popularity in 50 regions with these 5 in America, 1 in Canada. So I thought originally that the Canada one was Ontario. But now it's obviously not Ontario because we didn't gain in Ontario because our rating is too low for the overall show. Very interesting. So I'm assuming it's one of those other regions. I think it was Maritimes or... what was the other one? I can't remember the other one. We'll check it in a second. Anyway, Patriot viewing figures down 5,000 from last episode. 475k viewers for Ondem. Interesting. So SWF have actually just gotten... I'm assuming that's their B show, Alternative Wrestling. They've just got that onto the Bloke channel, which I believe is in Oceania. So, pretty interesting. But I'm assuming that's also... oh, wow. They're also on J Network East 3 for Supreme TV, which is their main show. And the Bloke channel as well. So they've got some real good coverage now. Oh no, that's for Elite. Oh wait, what? Hold on, let me go take a look at SWF for a second. All right, let's view them. I want to have a look at... oh, maybe you can't look. I don't think you can. Anyway, we can go events and TV. I mean, they've got a lot of broadcasting deals for their TVs. Well, at least for Supreme TV, they're on Channel 6, which I think is... I think that's both Europe and the United Kingdom, the UK. Well, maybe not. I guess Channel 6 is probably just the UK. Obviously, Euro Cable Sports 4 is probably... well, it's obviously Europe. Obviously, J Network is Japan, and now Oceania for the Bloke channel. They've literally got 3 TV shows. That's an A show. Interesting. I didn't realize, but yeah, that's an A show. SWF Elite. Didn't realize. Anyway. Okay, anyway, enough about SWF with their 375 million. Let us take a quick look at our size. I don't think anything's really changed there. Alberta's gone up 1 point, as well as Saskatchewan. So I'm assuming it's British Columbia. But I mean, even that's gone up 1 point. So 32, it could be the Maritimes. I think the Maritimes is the only one that hasn't gone up this month so far. Well, apart from Ontario as well. So it's either Ontario or the Maritimes, but I'm kind of leaning towards the Maritimes because it does have a very low population, as you can see. Extremely small potential fan base at 25%, which is literally almost non-existent. So I find it surprising that we've actually got 32 popularity in that region. Anyway, not going to worry about it too much. Let us get into the pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to it, but then at the same time, I'm also a little bit hesitant because of the way our main events have been going recently. Now, we don't have to worry about crowd burnout, which is perfect because I feel like crowd burnout, we turned it off. It's just, it's so pointless and such a game ruining thing that's implemented in here that would not be happening the way that it is, if that makes sense. Crowd burnout is usually for your middle show matches. Back in the day, it was like the women's matches when you had the Divas title, in WWE. Oh, interesting. Doc Hammond. Is he retired now? Wait, what? He retired? I thought he had more time left. Wait, what? I thought he had another month. Anyway, apparently now he's a manager, and he's also opened up his own school, so his own dojo. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Anyway, let's not worry about that too much. Who's this guy? We've got Zernal Zephaniah. Double Z, apparently. Who's an agitator. Yeah, there we go. He's retired, I guess. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, Oliver Cobb here, who is with nobody at the moment. And New York City are going in for him. Just on a handshake deal. Not that I would want to sign him anyway. He's pretty bad, to be fair. He's not bad, but he's just not really what we are looking for or what we would need as well. Anyway, here we go. Let's chuck the show onto both of our pay-per-view broadcasters. So Canada One Choice and U-Demand there as well. Still feels so good just seeing that and putting them on there. Anyway, we've got an incident here. Okay, so another person coming to us willing to put over Maddie Faith. And it's Aussie Goldstein, one of our top, main event talents. Yeah, so we've got one match and it will expire in 6 months. But we also have John Greed. Do I have promises here? Oh no, it was... Okay. Never mind. It was Angry Gilmore who was willing to put over Maddie Faith, which was probably going to be Faith's next storyline, next episode. And then John Greed was going to put over Jack Jackson. Okay, so we only have 32 days, so it literally has to be his next feud with Angry Gilmore. And I guess he can beat him, and then yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something with it. So let's book our thing in Toronto over 48,000 fans expected for this show. They're pretty sure, yeah, Toronto Olympic Stadium. We could go in there. We could go in there. Let's do it. We may as well do it. Usually we go in Toronto anyway, so it's the same area. Anyway, let me go black screen real quick, and I'll book the main event here real quick. So it is, of course, Aldous Blackfriar taking on Mobstar for the Unified World title. And again, I've learnt my lesson. We are only going to go for 20 minutes. Not going to do anything too special. 20 minutes, done and dusted. Mobstar and Aldous. Potentially a new world champion. Unified world champion, of course. Or, you know, Mobstar could also retain. Who knows? Either way, there we go. It's booked. And we're ready to go. Alright, so the rest of the show, let's go with Davis and Logan. So this one's a bit of a weird one. He actually gained a point of popularity in Ontario, which is, it's nice. Now, we can either go one of two ways. We either have Logan win, thus continuing the downfall or the downward spiral of Davis, or we kick things off with Davis and his redemption arc. But then again, he hasn't exactly fallen that far, if you will. So I think this one, a little bit outside the box. We're going to go with Logan. We're going to go with... Ooh, Doc is now a road agent as well. And I didn't even make him a road agent, so that's perfect. We can actually finally get rid of Kavanaugh. Anyway, let's go Monton for this one as well. And then, like I said, Logan's going to get the win. And let's make it a decisive one as well. I mean, Davis he's losing a bit of popularity at the moment. He lost 1 point since he was champion, which is not too serious, but it's still a point. Anyway, up next, Young and Wasted taking on the Moneymakers for our Coalition Tag Team Championship. I guess ships is probably the correct way of saying it. But yeah, too soon. Can't really take the belts off of the Moneymakers. And, I mean, Young and Wasted, they really did have quite a decent run with the belts as well. I think I'll make this the storytelling match as well. Because we're going to have quite a few other good matches on the card. Up next, this one I'm not really too interested in, and that's just the rematch between Gary Walker and Cooper Christie. Again, this one, it doesn't need to be long. We'll give it 16. We'll chuck a slow build on it as well. Because there's quite a bit of psychology in the match. So let's call it, let's go slow build. We'll go decisive this time, because I think the last one, was it tainted? I can't remember 100%. We'll make this one decisive for the Canadian title. Might actually go with Dace for that one. Not really, like I said, it's not important. Just not important. Up next, we'll go with Gilmore and Graham Gorman. Again, is the end of the storyline. Of course, yeah, we know they have the negative chemistry, but that's fine. And basically, what we're going to do on this one is actually give the overall storyline win to Angry Gilmore. I feel like it's pretty fitting, to be honest. And I guess we actually will end the storyline with this match. Let's actually give Doc this match as well. It'll kind of be his first match in charge. All right, what else? We've got Giant Brody taking on John Greed. And then we finally have Matty Faith taking on Matt Hocking as well. This one I'm kind of interested in. I really am interested. I feel like they're there can only really be one winner in this match. And I feel like it does have to be Giant Brody. We can't... I feel like I've been like letting him down and just booking him as sort of just another member of the roster. Whereas, you know, when I brought him in initially, I wanted to, I guess, essentially book him as a big monster heel. And he's kind of been treated as like a bit of a face. Like I said, just another member of the roster that isn't 6'9", 300 and whatever pounds he is. Yeah, 326 pounds. He needs to be booked better. And I feel like that's a pretty big win over John Greed as well. So yeah. Like I said, the final match, I guess the first match of the show, will be Matty Faith taking on Matt Hocking. We'll give this one 20 minutes as well. We'll give the win to Faith, but it is going to be a tainted victory as well. Couldn't get the job done. Couldn't get the job done without cheating. And we're going to have an outside... Actually, we'll have manager interference finish to end things there as well. I mean, realistically, that's kind of the whole show, really. Now, I guess for this show, we will just kind of go with our your like standard promos. It kind of makes sense for this one on its own. So let's have Mobstar cutting his angle onto Aldous. Have that one off screen. Well, we'll have Aldous off screen. Actually, I guess we could maybe... Let's do... Because it is final chapter, let's do this instead. So let me go Overness. And we'll have a Mobstar spectacular entrance. If I can spell it correctly, there we go. So that's just going to be based on Overness. It can only be 4 minutes long though, because that's how long they go for. So that'll go before his match. Obviously, he might be losing the title, so it might seem a little bit silly. But there you go. What's next? I think we need a... Let's go Matty Faith with Charlie Corner. We'll go them both on entertainment as well. And let's write this one out as well. Matty Faith discusses Charlie Corner's, I guess, involvement in his match tonight. So that'll go before, so that'll kick us off. We'll go straight backstage with Matty Faith. Well, I guess with the whole Faith No More locker room, but you know, Rock City Stars won't actually be in the angle. I mean, Giant Brody Menace angle, maybe. Let's go John Greed. Let's go John Greed again. Prior to his match, I guess he'll just come out. We'll have Brody obviously off screen because it's going to be prior to the match. They're not actually going to be out there per se. Well, we'll have John Greed be backstage. So I guess in theory, Brody might be already out in the ring potentially. Yeah, potentially. I don't know. Anyway, let's go with a... We need to do something for Davis. Let's go Davis onto Logan again. But this time, I guess it'll be like literally in the ring before the match starts. I feel like that's kind of a good way to go about it as well. And that can advance the storyline. So the GOAT's redemption, but obviously the redemption part hasn't started yet, which was what I was trying to get at before. And then I guess we also need an Angry Gilmore angle in there as well, just to hopefully get us a 100 rating. You know what he's like; he can do it. If anyone can, he can. I'll get Doc Hammond to road agent that because I'm sure we're probably going to run into some sort of road agent, penalties here. Let's have a look. Oh, it's just stones. Okay, perfect. We could probably put maybe one more match on the card. I guess maybe Zeus and Diaz would make a little bit of sense. I guess we could maybe put some sort of angle in there as well. Let's kick things off with a Diaz Zeus match. I would like it to be 12, but I mean, even 12 might be too long now. He's only at 54. We'll give the victory to Diaz. I do have a new render for Diaz as well. So we're going to do some interesting stuff with him in the near future, where I feel like he's been a face in our storyline purposes for quite a long time. He was kind of the face, and then Jack Pride was kind of the heel with their storyline where they came together as not a team. But I think we're gonna have a proper heel turn for him, even though we don't technically use heels or faces. Anyway, so called, decisive. Let's go work the crowd as well. Hopefully that'll be good. And then, never mind. We're gonna need to we'll try Monton, but okay, that's all right. It works. We do need another match for. Okay, we'll go Dace for the tag team title match as well, but still too much. We already got Dace on that one as well. It's either Gorman. Yeah, we'll go Gorman and yeah, we'll do that one. It's going to be bad either way, probably that match. Oh, actually, it'll be okay, but it won't be anything too special, I guess. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the times there. Let's do like a 10 or a 15 man battle royale on the pre-show. Go a 15 man battle royale. Just chuck in whoever's left, really. Let's go Vicious. Go Charlie Corner. Be in there, of course. Jack Jackson will be in there. Gonzalez can go in. Patriot can go in. Mutant can go in. That's a decent shout. I guess Riddick can go in there as well, potentially helping him out. We'll have Willie the Roo, Sono, Cowison, Zombie Boy can go in there as well. We're at 11. There are a few people that I'm obviously skipping over as well. Don't know if I really want Papa Swole in the match. Or Princeton Price, for that matter. We'll go Jack Pride. Pepper Pelton. Yeah, Pepper can go in there. We'll go Bowden Snoop in there as well. It's basically just going to be the mid-carders, because I'll do another pre-show match sort of with everybody else. But let's throw in... We'll throw in Americana as well. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, instead of Americana, there's no point putting him. We'll go Blue Dragon. Because Blue Dragon's obviously young. So there we go. Save that. We'll give it... Yeah, we'll give it 60. Can we give it 20? I feel like 20 minutes is probably what it needs. Doc can be the road agent for it as well, I guess. Makes a bit of sense. Now, as far as the winners go, the winner, I think we need to either go with Jack Jackson. Let's do this. Let's go Jack Jackson, and then we'll make the runner-up Mutant. Then we'll have most eliminations will be Mutant as well. Obviously makes sense. And then we'll have a finalist of Patriot and another finalist of... I guess a Sono would make the most sense. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good. Maybe we don't go for a slow build. Not a lot of psychology in this match. What's our issue now? Oh, that's not good. That's okay. Okay. We can't actually do any more matches, I don't think. I did want to do one more pre-show, but let's run the show. We're gonna leave off a few people, unfortunately. Anyway, here we go. We kick things off with our pre-show Battle Royale 15-man, getting a 53 rating, where we do have Jack Jackson winning the Battle Royale in 1531. The other members of the Final Four were Mutant, of course, runner-up, Yuto Asono, who came third, and then finally, second appearance in the company, Mars Patriot finishing in the fourth place, or being the last fourth competitor, I guess. We also had Mutant being the final elimination, like I said, and he also got the most eliminations over the course of the match. Good stuff. Apparently, Mars Patriot actually shone in this match as well, which makes sense. He's the only one in the match, apart from maybe Jackson and Mutant, that really has, top level stats. So yeah. We then kick the actual pay-per-view off with a 67 rated match. Not terrible, but should have been a little bit better, to be honest. We got James Diaz defeating Zeus Maximilian in 11:35 by pinfall with an Asian thumb spike. Also worth mentioning, we're at 570. I was about to do 750. Yeah, 49,570 people inside the Toronto. I know you can't see it behind my beautiful face there, but the Toronto Olympic Stadium. Got to check the dirt sheet because, it's only stamina, it's only the declining physical ability and the lack of associated storyline, but a 78 in-ring from Diaz and a 68 from Zeus, I feel like it should be at least like maybe a 72. 72 would literally be in the middle of both their in-rings. So I kind of feel a little bit hard done by getting a 67. I feel like that's more of a mid-card match, and these guys are both upper mid-carders, so bit of a letdown. All right, we then, it was done to a cold crowd as well, that should be said. Anyway, we go into a 69 rated angle here. Probably shouldn't have used Charlie Corner on entertainment with Matty Faith. Should have just done him by himself. But you never know, we might be able to get Charlie's entertainment stats up a little bit if he is involved. Pay-per-view's probably not the place to do it, though. Anyway, we have Matty Faith discussing Charlie Corner's involvement in his match tonight. Of course, up next, actually, against Hocking. That match does very well. I had a feeling that this match was going to be pretty good. We get a 79 rating here, 1 point away from an 80. And we have Matty Faith defeating Matt Hocking in 1957 by pinfall with a leap of faith after Charlie Corner interfered. And of course, Charlie had a lot of involvement between these two, especially, he versed Hocking, and now he's cost him the match. And of course, he is Faith's manager, so there we go. 78 there. So Matty Faith just seems to be getting better and better, which I'm very, very happy with. All right, we then go into an 83 rated angle here with John Greed, and of course he's cutting another promo. This time a much better one compared to his interview on the Go Home show. As you can see, improvising well, and the announcing and color commentary lifting the segment as well. I'm looking forward to this match as well. Kind of like maybe a coming of age for Giant Brody. And it's pretty good. We get a 78, so 1 point lower than the last match, but it's still good. And it maybe should have been even lower than that because some not great in-ring performances, but we do have Giant Brody defeating John Greed in 20 minutes, 9 seconds by pinfall with a single-handed chokeslam. Yeah, just a good match. And like I said, this could be Giant Brody's big victory that sort of leads him into maybe like the, not number one contendership, but maybe contendership for the number one contendership, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Anyway, 70 is pretty solid. I think that's the first time we've actually seen Giant Brody hit a 70. And he outperformed John Greed. And again, this would have had both inconsistency and declining physical ability from John Greed as well. But yeah, notice that there was no penalties for the storyline there. Interesting. Anyway, we move on to a 72 rated match here between Gary Walker, and he does defeat Cooper Christie in 15:44 by pinfall with a pants pull sunset flip. And we have the first defense number 1 for Gary Walker of the CWC Canadian title. It's a good match. I mean, Cooper with a 69, we had Gary Walker with a 67 there. And I mean, we already knew they had great chemistry, so why not do the match again? I mean, Cooper is entitled, well, he was entitled to this rematch clause. So there we go. All right, we then go straight into our other other title match, being the Tag Team Championships. And you have to say, this one is really, really good. We get a 77 rated match. We have the Moneymakers defeating Young and Wasted in 12:11, so only a 12-minute match, when Jackpot Jordan pinned Brett Kyle with a Make It Rain. The Moneymakers making defense number 1 of the Coalition Tag Team titles. But as you can see, Stevie P really off his game, only getting a 59 in-ring performance, and then both members of Young and Wasted getting 72s there. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy indeed. Kind of, maybe I shouldn't have taken the belts off them. But the Moneymakers, they've been around for a while now. I do really like them as a team together. And of course, you know, they're not getting any younger. And I wanted to at least have them, you know, win the titles once. At least once. I feel like that's it's a respectable thing to do. And yeah, the veterans versus the youngsters. And the veterans are getting the best of them at the moment, despite the, you know, Young and Wasted putting on a very good performance. All right, there we go. The typical 100. Angry Gilmore does not let me down on the pay-per-views, man. His angles, I feel like it's every pay-per-view. He either gets like a 99 or a 100. And more often than not, it's a 100. There we go. Masterful job of improvising. Interesting that, yeah, the announcing was weak. However, as you can see, Jurian was on the announce booth. However, he was not weak. Very interesting. Okay, I like that. So he might be good enough. 80 might be the cutoff point to prevent getting that penalty, or at least for one person. All right, we then go into the final match of this pretty horrible storyline, if I'm being honest. We get a 68 rating. We have Angry Gilmore defeating Graham Gorman in 9:54 by pinfall with an anger management. Storyline, you know, a fresh start for Angry Gilmore has ended with this segment. Obviously, we know they don't seem to click. We got a 61 for Gilmore and a 66 there for Gorman. So I'm glad it's over. It actually did pretty well considering they have negative chemistry. You know, 68's a fair bit higher than, you know, some of the in-ring performances, but alas, it's come to an end and we can move on. Find something else for both these guys to do. All right, we then go into, I guess, one of our 2 main events. We have 2. Let's go with the 2 main events for tonight. The first one here, we get an 82 rating for Davis Wayne Newton cutting a promo in the ring prior to the start of this match, and he says that, you know, tonight it's the night that I come back. You know, the old Davis, the GOAT of the Coalition, comes back. Want to beat the hottest talent in North America. I mean, he's obviously not the hottest talent, Logan, but, you know, Davis wants to put him over. Trying to put him over as a real top talent. And, yeah, he does pretty well. Apparently he improvised well, so, you know, we didn't script him on the last one where he failed. Improvising well, non-scripted in this one. but it's only an 82. Seems a bit weird, but anyway, hopefully the match will exceed expectations. Please. Please. It's terrible. It's literally terrible. I don't know how. I don't know how this match can be this bad. It literally does not make sense that this match will be a 75, but Davis versus Charlie is going to be an 82 for 10 minutes. If the main event is like this, I don't know. I'm going to have some serious frustrations. Anyway, we do have Logan Wolfsbane defeating Davis Wayne Newton in 20 minutes, 24 seconds by submission with a Boston Crab. 94 in-ring performance from the GOAT, Davis Wayne Newton. We also had an 80 there for Logan. It's actually a little bit lower than what he's usually getting, so I'm sure there's some sort of inconsistency there at the pay-per-view. But the match deserved better color commentary. Why would I get a penalty for that? Yes, okay. I would understand a small penalty. But these penalties look like they're dragging the match completely down. This should not be lower than an 80 rated match. It should be a 90 rated match in my opinion. I don't see how it wouldn't be a 90. I don't know. Dirt sheet. I mean, it's the storyline. It's the storyline low heat, man. It's still going. There was inconsistency there from Logan and poor color commentary. We literally got a penalty for that. There we go. I just can't fathom why a match like this is going to tank this badly when you know on paper it is so good. So good. It's beyond good. It's almost great. And that is not a great rating. Not even a good rating. It's like an average. I mean, the tag team title match got a 77 with a 59 in-ring performance from one of the competitors. I think these guys would have actually been better off if they weren't even in a storyline together. And that's the honest truth. I feel like the storylines are just messed up. I know it might be me doing it, but I don't know. Anyway. Move on. Get an 83 rated angle here from Mobstar. Even this seems a little bit lower than it should be, really. Oh, okay. Sorry. Never mind. This was overness. Okay. I take it back. I completely forgot. I thought it was a promo. But it is a spectacular entrance there for Mobstar. I don't know. What would happen? Let's pretend that 2 rows of guys wearing, the black bandanas over their faces. They're lining up towards the ring, and Mobstar is walking through them with his title belt. And yeah, I mean, I would assume that would look pretty cool. Anyway, the main event. Please don't be bad. I can't handle 2 really bad matches that I expect to be good. But here we go. Thank you, Lord. Oh my God. Praise. Yes. Okay. Finally something I can actually get behind. We have Mobstar defeating Aldous Blackfriar in 20 minutes, 8 seconds by pinfall with a flat and a DDT. We've got Mobstar making defense number 2 of the CWC Unified World title. And we get a 93 rated main event for a pay-per-view. Yes. Yes. Man, how long has it been? How long has it been since I've seen a 90 rated match? Thank you. I'm so happy right now. From that last match to this one, don't understand it. I'm assuming we didn't get the penalties for the storylines. Anyway, once again, we did get a penalty for color commentary, which is frustrating, but we have a pretty bad color commentator, and that was literally the only penalty. So if I am to get my storylines in order, if I can get them in order, we will hopefully not have any of these stupid penalties anymore. Thank God for that. A 93 rated main event to finish off 2023. Second best ever match in the whole series. I'm pretty sure. We'll check that in a second. There we go. Oh, would you look at that? 89 rated show. Second best ever show, I think, as well. Maybe tied first. Did we? I think, from memory, I feel like we did get a 90 rated show. I think for a TV show. Back in the day. Anyway, the show increased our popularity in only 9 regions. 7 American regions failed to grow in popularity, and 2 in Canada. Okay, then. That's what I don't understand. Like, literally 9 regions we didn't gain any popularity in, and we've only just recently upgraded our broadcaster to medium coverage from small, and we weren't even getting this many, failure to gains when we were on a small coverage broadcaster. I don't understand. Anyway, praise. I mean, I cannot give it to anybody. I don't care if we have morale issues. Mobstar and Aldous literally saved this episode single-handedly. That was one of the best title matches we've ever had on the series, by far. I mean, just because he's the GOAT, took a loss, 94 in-ring. It's got to be Davis. Oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy with that 93. You don't, I mean, you guys probably do understand. You've seen me and how frustrated I've been getting. All these good matches I've been trying to put on, and one after the other, on paper, they're top quality matches. Finally, we get exactly what I wanted. Anyway, we've got Son of Vengeance here. Tell you what, I would not mind signing him. He's only 22. Of course, his father is Skull to Bones, or Vengeance when he was in SWF. I actually have a pretty cool render that I could potentially use for him. In a similar sort of Skull to Bones. Maybe he could be like a prodigy, if you will. I'm not sure if Son of Vengeance would make a lot of sense as far as a name goes, but I mean, he's not bad. He's not bad. Lacking a little bit in psychology, but actually, I mean, even his primary skills don't look the best there either. He's only got 64 hardcore. You know what? I think we'll leave him with RIPW. I might come back for him in the future, though. Because he's not that good yet. And we kind of want him to possibly get a bit better. Anyway, we got 301,000 buys. A 0.60 pay-per-view buy rate. So that's actually pretty good. Should equal some decent money coming in. I like it. I like it. Ooh, we've got Kavanaugh with big morale issues. He's also... How is he up to 70 popularity? Hold on. Oh, okay. Ah, never mind. For some reason, I thought he was on 69 and then he went up, but I guess he was already at 70. But yeah, he's got big morale issues now, so I probably... I don't know. We can't really give him any more losses, can we? What I need to do is get through to the next pay-per-view and basically have him... Well, I won't have him lose, obviously, but we'll praise him after and hope that his issues will go away. That'd be decent. But yeah, we now got morale issues there for Princeton Price as well, because we didn't use him. I guess what I'll do now, actually, first things first, let's hire another referee. There is literally no point or reason why we shouldn't have more than one referee. Well, we already have two, but you know what my point is. I don't really consider Dace to be a good referee. So let's have a look. What do we got? We'll get Francis Long, 81 refereeing, Canadian, working for both ACPW and Black Maple. Let me do can work in Canada. Let's go properly. Now I did talk about Quincy Jargon, and Quincy's really good. He's with both CZCW and XWA, but I'm assuming if we go in for him, he would probably... I'm assuming he would get another contract offer from CZCW. But you know what? I don't care. Let's go an exclusive written contract, 10 years, and just get him in, really. I mean, 24,200 sounds good. We got arguably like the two best referees in the game for our regions. He's got 98 refereeing. RM Stones has 100, as far as I remember. Let me just have a look at this guy. I want to keep a close eye on him because I want to see if his announcing starts to go up as well. But yeah, RM Stones. He does have 100 refereeing, as you can see there. But he is pretty old, so he'll be our senior referee. Quincy Jargon will be our, backup. Even though he's arguably as good. Anyway. But yeah, let's have a look at the top 100s. Okay, so that's our third best show. Pure Disrespect of this year was the 90 rated show. But then we also had a Coalition Wrestling that was also an 89. But I guess it was 89.7. And maybe this final chapter was 89.5 or something like that. So it was slightly lower, but only, by a decimal point. So that's fine. I'm happy with that. Third best show. The match, though, it is indeed our second best ever match. So that makes me so happy. Hopefully makes you happy as well, guys. I think that deserves a like. If you haven't dropped a like yet, smash the like button for Mobstar and all this there. Really saving me from frustration. That's the best way of putting it. Anyway, let's take a look at a few other things. Now, I talked about merchandise, so let me advance one day here. Into the new year, we'll actually take a look at a few things, though. We'll take a look at the, Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Company of the Year, all that type of stuff. Hopefully, I mean, I would assume that we might be in contention, to be honest, because we've gained a lot of popularity in 2023. Pretty much across the world, probably, because on them, we're with them up until, what, October? No, November, I think. Yeah, it was November. I'll take a sip of water here. We'll wait for the processing to finish. Obviously, it's got quite a lot of stuff to do, but I'm curious, very curious, and I'm pleasantly looking forward to it as well. All right, so looks like it's kind of frozen a little bit. Hopefully that's not the actual case. Like I said, I don't actually have a backup of this save. Making me a little bit nervous right now. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so Wrestler of the Year is Remo Richardson, apparently. Understandable. I mean, he is 41 years old, though. But he still has his stamina. It doesn't actually look like he's lost any. I mean, that looks a bit ridiculous, but anyway. 97 star quality. And, yeah, pretty high popularity. 93s across the US. Some 92s, 93s in Canada, and 93s in Mexico as well. Didn't mean to double click that, but yeah, that's a lot of 90s. That is a lot of 90s in there. A lot of 99s as well, actually. And quite a few 100s thrown into the mix as well. Fair play. All right, Company of the Year. Come on, please. Please be us. Oh, literally. That is the funniest thing that could have just happened. Literally the funniest thing. I'm actually happy that that's happened because that's frustrating, but you know what? It's motivating at the same time. CWA, the Canadian Wrestling Alliance, have landed the Company of the Year award for a second time. Team of the Year going to J Cord and Running Wolf. I mean, tag team, it doesn't mean anything. It should be real tag teams. We've kind of said that for a long time. Match of the Year going to Rocky Golden and Mighty Mo, the former TCW stars. Kicking off, well, winning Match of the Year there for SWF. Show of the Year going to Burning Hammer Best of the Super Juniors. I like that won it last year as well. Young Wrestler of the Year going to Hurricane, who is with EILL, sorry. EMLL's the smaller company. Veteran, we've got Valiant, of course, another SWF worker, who is probably the most over person in the entire game at the moment, probably. Anyway. Female goes to Brooke Tyler, and of course, she's been doing absolute work for CWA. Hopefully, this is us. Most Improved Company of the Year. We won it. I think we won it last year, didn't we? Come on. BWA. Okay, Independent goes to Scotty Hampstead. Manager goes to Dawn Gemmell. Announcer going to Mitch Nace. Fair play. And color commentator going to Devil Karube. Hey, there we go. We won something. RM Stones winning Referee of the Year. Hey, that makes me happy. That's a positive. That's a positive. Anyway, I don't want to... Let's look through here. I wonder if I've actually never looked through the Power 500 before, but I want to have a look now. I was hoping that there would be a... Oh, there is. Okay. Blind. Let's have a look. CWC. Okay, so Logan Wolfsbane is at number 56. But he's there because of TCW, obviously. Jeez, you look at his... you look at his TCW matches, and then you look at his CWC matches. They're not looking good. 82, 83, which is acceptable. 73 in a main event. And then 75 against Davis Wayne Newton. The GOAT. Anyway, next one. I mean, another former TCW guy we brought in this year. But that is Aldous Blackfriar. But as you can see, a 93 to top off that. I like that. Pretty happy. He's actually gone down from the year previously. He's down to 84. We then have Mobstar. Now, that's an interesting one because Mobstar been with us for the whole year. Obviously, as you can see, did not place in the previous year. And he's already at 140. That's pretty crazy. His lowest rating was a 54. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Anyway, then we have Davis in at 145. Also didn't place in the previous year. I mean, lots of these guys. Actually, Goldstein actually did place in the previous year. Zeus didn't. Gorman did. Diaz did not place, but he's in at 243. It's not too bad. Princeton's down a lot, but again, coming in from CWA. Okay, Patriots up, but obviously from SWF. Oh, Matty, that's a bad turn for Matty Faith. He was 193 last year, coming in at 375, but he's done some good. Done some good. Anyway, again, all these guys here. Ugh, John Greed. 105 the year previous, now 470. And Hawking in at 495. Anyway, there's the Power 500. Let me quickly go into, well, let's have a look at our profit. So we made almost 1.2 million. So we're making over $1 mil per month. Over 1.1 mil per month at the moment. We actually got less pay-per-view revenue. But we obviously made about, 225,000 more in ticket sales. Broadcast revenue was up as well, which is positive. We're actually doing the same numbers that we were doing with the actual pay-per-view on Dem. So that's pretty crazy. Sponsors is up a little bit as well. Merchandise is obviously up as well. All looking pretty good. Let's have a look at the actual merchandise itself. So yeah, the GOAT is the GOAT for a reason. Still at number 1, 33,000. Current unified world champion. Mobstar in at number 2. Got Logan in at number 3, which is very interesting, but 79 pop is pretty high. Then we have Aldous in at number 4 with over 12,000. So that's pretty good. Everybody else, I mean, there's not a lot. Cooper Christie, I guess, finally on the list, potentially, with $77, but somebody's buying his stuff. That's positive. Anyway, we're up to 14%, going up to level 7, which I'm looking forward to. The more money, the better it is. Anyway, yes, so we do have a rival bid update. Let's have a look. I really want to get him in because we do need that extra referee. Okay. Ooh, 20% merchandise. Signing bonus as well. And 10% per event. Okay, well. Let's go 26,000. I actually want to get him, so I think I'm gonna blow it out a bit. We'll go 20% merchandise. Give him a bonus of 10k as well. May as well. Okay, there we go. 28,000. That's a bit better. I mean, it's like less than 4,000 more than we were going to pay anyway. Alright, so T-Bone Bright has actually left TCW. He's now unemployed. I feel like he would be a really good pickup for Mid-Atlantic Wrestling or one of those types of companies. Even, New York City or someone like that. We've also got Solomon Gold. Interesting. Current CWA worker, but they're not renewing. He could be interesting. Anyway, we'll monitor that situation. And Captain USA leaving US Pro. Okay, so finally, creative meeting. Oh, would you look at that? Logan Wolfsbane in at number 1. And who's number 2? Davis. Oh, but we just had them go against each other. And they only got a 75. Well. Anyway, luckily we do have Aldous and we do have Mobstar here as well. But Angry Gilmore still in at number 4, which is interesting. Kind of thinking that it might be someone else, but he's there. Happy for him to be there. He's still going to be around. Next big things, I mean, they haven't really changed. Hot Prospects, again, all the same guys there as well. Talk the Talk. Aldous at number 1. We've got Jack in there as well. Upper Swole in there as well. Yeah, it's more to do with his charisma than his microphone and acting, but there we go. Showstoppers, Masked Patriot in at number 2. We got Logan in at number 4. Ring Generals, Patriot number 1. Logan number 3. And Cooper's in there as well, in at number 5. Who's hot? We've got Mobstar, Jackpot, Taylor, Davis, and Diaz. Who's not? Apparently nobody. And then Hidden Gems. Really nothing too impressive. Sandman Winks is probably the only one that even remotely looks, any decent. Although Spencer Edmund does look pretty good. And of course, Spencer is actually a former CWC worker. He was literally one of the first people we signed when the whole roster was completely toxic and messed up, and we had to fire pretty much the whole roster. Anyway, that is pretty much going to be it, guys. Take a quick look at the size here to wrap up the episode. We've gone up to 79. Gone up to 79. Oh my god. There we go. Didn't realize, but there we go. All that means is we're going to get a bigger attendance for our shows from now on. We're also up to 54 in the tri-state, so I don't think we have to worry about the tri-state, but I think... Okay, so that's what it is. It's Northwest as well. So Northwest, Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, Great Lakes. I'm assuming maybe New England as well is the other one that's kind of stalling. I'm pretty sure they have lower population or potential fan base as well. Anyway, that is it for the episode, guys. Please make sure you have smashed the like button. I know most of you probably already have, and I appreciate it so very much. Apparently, it does help out the algorithm for this video to be shown, you know, to more people, which is a good thing. And yeah, I mean, apart from that, if you're not subscribed by now, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit the notification bell, and you'll be staying up to date with all these episodes coming out in the future. Also, I'm going to take a bit of a break from Valpro. So every other day, I think we're going to be running with the local to global, at least for this week. I just want to see how it goes. I don't know. I'm feeling Valpro's just, it's not what I expected it to be or what I wanted it to be. It is an easy series for me to record. So by doing this, I'm actually kind of hurting myself a little bit because obviously I have to make these much longer episodes. Like this one's hour and 42. And then rendering these takes about 3 to 4 hours minimum. And then uploading even takes a couple of hours as well. But I'm enjoying this way more than Valpro. 100%. This is our company. You know, this is our company that you guys have helped build. That we've built from the ground up, literally from nothing. Actually, from below nothing. Because the first 4 episodes were completely messed up. And we almost ruined the series from the beginning. And then we picked things up. And since then, it's been bloody brilliant. It's been absolutely awesome. And I just want to say thank you for all the support, guys. Because, I mean, even the first episode, I think, has about 2,000 views now. Which is awesome. Also up to like 94 likes or something. 95 likes. I checked it the other day. And just very surprised. But even these ones, you know, after 24 hours, they're at about 100 views. And I didn't really expect it, to be honest. So very, very happy, very, you know, pleased with all the effort you guys are putting in with the comments as well. You know, you're helping me out a lot. You might not think that you will help out, but I do, you know, read every comment, respond to every comment as well. And I definitely take your guys' feedback on board. And hence why I'm doing the whole storyline sort of revamp as well. Anyway, that is it from me. Enough rambling. Take it easy, and goodbye.